Hello student, welcome to my class. Today I am going to take class 10 geography chapter 1. It is part 2 of resource and development. Alright, so already we have completed the first part. In the first part we discussed the definition of resources, classification of resources, and we also discuss about the sustainable development and the planning through which we can achieve the sustainable development. Also, the conservation of resource was discussed in the earlier part. So, in this part, we are basically discuss about the two important resource, that is land resource and the soil resource. So, let's proceed and conclude this chapter. So first and foremost, we are going to study about land resource. So this land is a very important resource, and on the basis of relief feature, you can divide the land into various parts. Like in the land, you have the plain, you have the plateau, you have the mountain. And in India, we have all these three forms of land. In India, we have 43% land in the form of plain, and 30% land in the forms of mountain, and 27% land in the forms of plateau. So, plain is basically used for the agriculture, mountainous area is used for tourism, and plateau area are rich in resources, is rich in mineral resources. So, what is the problem then? The problem is degradation of land. The land is degrading day by day. Its quality is decreasing, its fertility is decreasing, and it's becoming unfit for agriculture. So, this is actually the problem of land resource. Before discussing land degradation, let's see this figure. In this figure, you can see that how the different land feature is shown in this circle, in this pie diagram. You have 43% plain, then you have 27% of mountain and 30% plateau in India. So if you show this distribution of land in different relief feature in this pie diagram form, which is used even in your textbook, then this will make your answer attractive. So let's discuss now land degradation. So what is land degradation? It is actually decreasing the quality of the land. And this degradation of land, this decreasing the quality and fertility of land, it can happen with many reasons. It can happen because of the nature and also because of the human activity. So there are various causes of degradation of land, and the main important causes for the degradation of land is overgrazing. Overgrazing means when you use the land for the pasture, for grazing for the animals, then the animal, when they overdo it, overgraze the land, then the quality of land degrade. And this problem is very much found in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and MP, Maharashtra side. Alright. And then the other reason for degradation of land is over irrigation. Sometimes when the water logs stay in the land for a long time, then it increases the salinity and alkalinity of the soil, and it make the soil degrade and ultimately make the land degrade. So this is also one of the reason for land degradation. Third reason for land degradation is the waste of the industries. When the industry discharges their waste, they polluted waters, they discharges it in the land body and the water body, then the water and land pollution take place and land and water get degraded. So after this, there are other factors also which lead to land degradation, and they are, one of this is deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down the tree, and the mining activity. Both of this also degrade the land, because in mining activity what you do, when you, first of all, for mining you cut the tree, and then after cutting the tree you burn it, and you do various activity in the mining, and that all damages the land. And there are many mining process which is also harming the land, like grinding the limestone. When you grind the limestone, making it like a powder for the cement industry or for the ceramic industry, when you grind the limestone for cement industry and you use calcite and soapstone grinding for the ceramic industry, then when you are doing this grinding process, the particles of the metal, they like a dust, they goes to the air and then spread to the land. And when they spread to the land and they form a layer in the land which stop the filtration of water inside the soil. Means when the rain fall and water comes in the ground, this dust layer of the minerals stop the filtration of water, and the underground water is not formed in that place, and it degrade the land ultimately. So all these are the reasons, some of the very important reasons why the land is degrading day by day. So what can be the solution for this? The solution can be afforestation. Plant a tree because tree protect the land, and then you can control the grazing activity, and also you can have the proper discharge of waste material from the industry. You should make strict law for the industry that before discharging their waste, they should treat the waste and make it little unpolluted and less poisonous before releasing it in the environment. And also the mining activities which are going on should be in a control and a proper way. So if this all rules are followed, then we can control the land degradation to some extent. Now let's see how the land is used for the various purposes. So this is called land pattern. How you use the land for the various purpose is called land pattern. So you can use the land for forest. You can also use the land for, there are some land which is not available for cultivation. Like barren land and wastelands are not used for cultivation because cultivation is not possible there. And also there are some land which are used for non-agricultural activity, like you use that land for residence or for factories, for roads and other purpose. Yes, and the third is there are some uncultivated lands also, like pasture lands which are used for grazing, and then for miscellaneous tree crop groups you use some lands, and some lands are cultivable wasteland. Wasteland means they are left uncultivated for more than 5 years. Alright, so all this land is actually uncultivated lands. And the fourth category is fallow land. Fallow lands are divided into two parts. One is current fallow and one is other than current fallow. Current fallow is that land which is left uncultivated for less than 1 year. 1 year or less than 1 year. And other than current fallow is that land which is left uncultivated for 1 to 5 years. Between 1 to 5 years, then it is called other than current fallow. When the total area sown in the cultivation is called net sown area, and if you add those area which are cultivated once in a year, once in an agriculture year plus net sown area, then you get gross cropped area. Now let's see the land use pattern in India. Is decided by which factors? These are actually decided by two factors. One is physical factor and another one is human factor. Physical factor means naturally what are the things present there, like its topography, whether it is plain, plateau or mountain, or its climate present there, or the soil types present in that area, that decide the land pattern, how the land will be used for different purpose. And there are some human factor also which decide the land, how the land should be used for different pattern, like population density and what is the technology they have, what is their technological capacity, and what are their culture and tradition. All this factor also decide how the land will be used. Alright, so total we have 3.28 million square kilometer. Our area in area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. Of this area, we have the data for only 93% land, because the rest 7% land which is present in Jammu Kashmir, which is because some parts of Kashmir are occupied by Pakistan and China, and there are some parts in northeastern state, still the calculation is not done in that places, so only we have the data for 93% of land. So if you compare the land use pattern of 1960-61 to 2008 and 9, and then if you compare it like in the diagram here in the book, the diagram is given in which it is compared. The 1960-61 data is compared with 2008 and 9 data, recent data. When you compare this data, you comes to know that the land under the permanent pasture has been decreased and net sown area has been increased, because various uncultivated lands are also brought under cultivation to increase the net sown area. But by doing this, no, by bringing the land pasture under this, or some fallow land under the net zone area, what is happening, this land which is coming to the net zone area are actually a poor quality, and they are taking lot of money for the cultivation, and it's expensive to cultivate in that area because it is cultivated only once or twice in a 2 to 3 years. So net zone area is definitely increased, but it has some limitation because of this practice. And you know that this net zone area is not same everywhere. It is around 80% in state like more than 80% in state like Punjab and Haryana, and it is less than 10% in state like Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Manipur and other northeastern state, and also in the Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar. So there are some places which are less net zone area, and there are some places which have more net zone area. And the forest cover should be at least 33% in any area, but it is not followed in India because we don't have that much land under forest in our country. Okay, and also the wasteland, we have many wasteland in our country. It is because we have in some places we have rocky area, we have arid climate, and we are using the land for non-agriculture purpose also. So because of this also the net zone area has not been increased. But definitely if you compare the pie diagrams from 1961 to 2008 and 9, the net zone area has shown increase. Now let's talk about the soil. Soil is also very important resource. It is a renewable resource. It is used for growing plant, and many living organisms live on the soil only. But we have the problem of soil erosion. What is soil erosion? When the soil top cover is removed or washed away, it is called soil erosion. So what are the various causes for soil erosion? There are some natural causes because of which the soil erosion is taking place, like wind and water and glacier is moving and they are eroding the soil. And there are some other causes like because of human activity, deforestation, overgrazing and construction work, mining work and wrong method of farming. All these things are also leading to the soil erosion problem in India. So if you want, you are asked to show the layer of the soil, you can show this layer of the soil which is given in your book also. In the last downward you have the parent rock, because ultimately the soil is formed out of the rock only. And then above the parent rock you have the withered parent rock, means the parent rock is broken into small pieces. And then above that you have the subsoil where the roots of the plants found, and then on the top you have the topsoil where the plants grow. All right. Then about solution, because the land the soil is eroding day by day, so what can be the solution? One solution can be contour plugging. In the contour plugging is the method in which you do the plugging in the opposite direction of the water flow. Because if you do the plugging in the same direction where the water is flowing, then the more soil erosion will take place. So what you do the plugging opposite to the direction of water flow, and that stop the soil erosion. Afforestation can also be one of the reason for protecting the soil, and also the shelter belt method. What is shelter belt method? Shelter belt method is the method in which you plant the tree in a row. In a line you are planting all the tree, and this tree, when you plant the tree, the tree have the capacity to stop the speed of the wind. The wind speed loses its velocity when the tree comes in between them. So when the wind velocity decreases by the trees, then the less soil erosion take place. So this when you plant the tree in a row to stop the wind from flowing fast and eroding the soil, it is called shelter belt. So this method can also used for the protecting the soil from soil erosion. Also terrace farming method can be used in the mountainous area. Terrace farming is when you cut the mountain in the step by step and you grow the plants there on those steps. In mountainous area it is very important to do the terrace farming to stop the soil erosion, because mountainous area is more prone to soil erosion. And then you can grow the strip of grasses in between the crops. when you are growing the crop, in between two layer of crops, you can grow the strip of grasses in between them, because the grasses also have the capacity to stop the soil erosion and stopping the winds and water from eroding the soil. So this method, when you grow the strip of grasses to stop soil erosion, it is called strip farming, and this also control the soil erosion, and also you can control overgrazing to control the soil erosion. And now we will study about the classification of the soil, because soil is very important, and it take millions of years to form 1 centimeter of the soil, and there are many various factors which decide what type of soil will be formed. Like it is the relief feature which decide that which type of soil will form. Relief feature means mountain, plain and plateaus. And although the parent rock which is present in that region also decide the types of the soil. The climate present in that region, the flora and fauna found in that region, how much time is taken for the formation of the soil. All these are the various factors which decide the types of the soil. So actually the soil have both the matter, organic matter like humus, and non-organic matter also it have, and it is of various types. So let's discuss the various types of the soil one by one. So first and foremost, we are going to see the alluvial soil. So it is basically found in the northern India, in the northern plain, and also in the part of Rajasthan, Gujarat and eastern coastal plain. And it is rich in potash, phosphoric acid and lime, and it is also good for the cultivation of sugarcane, paddy, wheat. It is actually, and other cereals also grown here. It is actually very fertile soil, and it is actually made up of sand, silty and clay, which is brought by the river, which make it really fertile. And it is mostly present in fine particles, but some coarse particles, big particles are also found in some places of alluvial soil area, like especially in the pediment plain. Pediment plains are the plains which are made after the erosion of the mountains, and in that area you can find the big particles of the soil, like in the area of Dwar, Choice and Tarai. You can find this soil particles is having little big size of grain. So mostly it has small fine particles of the soils, but in some places it have big size of soil particles. And also this alluvial soil is actually of two types. About is two types you studied in the last year in the 9th class also, and the two types of alluvial soil is Bhangar and Khaddar. Bhangar is actually old alluvial soil and Khaddar is a new alluvial soil, and this Bhangar is actually rich in conker nodules. The concentration of conker nodules is more in Bhangar area, which stop the filtration of the water actually, and in the Khaddar area you have less concentration of conker nodules. And because the Bhangar is old for alluvial soil, so it is comparatively less fertile because it has become old, and this is new, Khaddar is new, and so it is more fertile fertile for the cultivation. So these are the difference between the Bhangar and Khaddar, which are the two types of alluvial soil. With this we end alluvial soil, and let's start now the black soil. So black soil is actually black in color, and it is also called Reger soil, and it is good for cotton cultivation, and it is sometimes called cotton soil also. It is found in Deccan Plateau, Malwa Plateau and the plateau of Maharashtra. And this soil has the capacity to store the moisture, and it is rich in calcium carbonate, magnesium, potassium and lime, but poor in phosphorus content. And in the hot season, in the hot day, it develop a cracks in its layer, and when it develop the crack, this crack help in the aeration of the soil. But on the other hand, when it is hot, it develop crack, but when it is get water on it, soon it becomes sticky. And it becomes sticky so fast that cultivation, plugging become difficult on this. So what they do the plugging of this soil soon after the first rain. Before the monsoon season, in the pre-monsoon season only the plugging is done in the soil, because afterwards it become very sticky for plugging. So that's why. So this is the quality of black soil. Now let's move to the another types of soil, that is red and yellow soil. This red soil is actually, this type of soil is actually found in low rainfall area where the crystalline igneous rocks are found. and it's found in the southern and eastern part of the Deccan Plateau. Apart from this, it is also found in Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and southern middle Ganga plain. In the middle Ganga plain, in the southern part of the middle Ganga plain, it is found. It is red in color because of the iron content in the crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rock. When the iron content is there, that's why it look red, and it turn yellow when it is hydrated. So this is about the red and yellow soil. Now let's move to the another soil, that is laterite soil. Laterite soil has come from the word later, which means brick. So it is actually mostly used for making up bricks also, and it is found in the area where the rainfall and temperature both are high. Its acidic quality is also very high because its pH value is less than 6.0, and it actually have in many parts it has less humus content. It has less humus content because the temperature is very high, So because of the high temperature, bacteria dies in these places, and because of that it is having the less humus content. But it does not mean that it cannot be used for cultivation. You can use for cultivation, you can add fertilizer, manure, chemicals, and do the cultivation here. It is mostly found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and also in the regions of Odisha and Assam. And it is actually very good for growing this tea and coffee. So you can see that I have given the points in the given the answer in the points. Point wise, if you write the answer, it makes your answer attractive and it can help you to gain the marks. And also it is easy to remember the answer in the points. So next we are going to discuss the arid soil, which is actually its color ranges from red to brown. It can be from red to brown color. Types of soil is present in this area, which is sandy in texture. You know what is sand. Sand is found in desert area. So it is sandy in texture, and it is actually saline in nature. It is so saline in nature that it is sometimes used for making the common salt also. And the area where it is found, it is having the dry climate, it is having the high temperature, and evaporation is very fast in those areas. It has less humus content in that area, and the moisture also is also very less in that area. It has the conker particles in that area which stop the filtration of water downwards. When the conker particles are there in the down area, it stops the filtration of water when the rain fall, and the water cannot be hold inside that soil because of this conker particles. It stops the filtration of water under the soil. So because of all this factor, arid climate, high temperature, less moisture, more evaporation, and less humus content, all these are the reason why this land becomes so unfit for cultivation. But it does not mean even there also the cultivation is possible if the proper irrigation facility is there. You must have heard about Indira Gandhi Canal, which was brought in Rajasthan, and cultivation was started in desert area also. And so if the proper irrigation facility is provided, the irrigation can be done in western Rajasthan also. And mostly it is found in Rajasthan area only. Now the last type of the soil is the forest soil. This forest soil is mostly found in hilly and mountainous area of high rainfall, and it is mostly found in North India near the Himalayas. And in some area it is very fertile because it is made up of loamy and silty type, and it is fertile there. But in the upper part of the mountain where it is covered with the snow, there it is acidic in nature because it has less humus content also there. So it's less fertile in the upper part. So actually this forest soil is found in the mountainous area, and the quality of the soil in that mountainous area differ with the heights of the mountain. In the lower part of the mountain you have the fertile soil, in the upper part of the mountain you have little less fertile soil. So this is the forest soil, and you can also see the various types of soil given in the map in your book, and it is very important to look into this. You can see where are the area where you find the red soil, the black soil, the alluvial soil, arid soil, or the forest soil. All the 6 type of soil is given in this figure. I recommend to go through this map because it can ask in the exam also. and this will help you to understand where the various types of soil are found in different region of India. So with this we are concluding this chapter. I hope you like this chapter. If you like this chapter, please like, share and subscribe my channel MP Social View. Thanks for watching students, and happy learning.